You know, Alex, I was out in the garage at 4 this morning trying to convince a piece of quarter seon oak that it wanted to stay flat. It didn't. It had other plans. It reminded me that no matter how much high tech we bring into our lives, the material world has a way of humbling you the second you get cocky.
Is that your way of telling me you're frustrated because the internet is talking about agile welding while you're still fighting with a piece of wood that's basically a boomerang?
A very expensive, stubborn boomerang. But you're right on the money. The digital age isn't killing the shop, it's just making the shop work 3 shifts a day to keep up. Take this news from Connecticut. Marion Manufacturing just landed Manufacturer of the Year. In a world where everyone wants things instant and plastic, a company that probably values a thousandth of an inch more than their own lunch break is winning the gold.
It's a nice reminder that precision is still the ultimate currency. But let's talk about this agile thing. When I hear agile, I think of software developers in Silicon Valley drinking kale smoothies. Now it's in welding shops?
It sounds like corporate fluff, doesn't it? Like they're going to have a stand-up meeting over a pile of I-beams, but look at what fabricators are doing now with production cells. It's about being nimble. If an OEM needs a specialized bracket by Tuesday, you can't spend 3 weeks retooling a massive assembly line. You have these flexible cells where the welder, the jig, and the gas are all ready to pivot on a dime. It's basically the workshop equivalent of being a jazz musician. You know the melody, but you got to be ready to improvise when the song changes.
So, more like a choose-your-own-adventure for metalwork. I see Zeckelman Industries is doing something similar, leaning heavily into American-made tubing. Is that just a patriotic play, or is there some actual grit behind it?
It's practical, Alex. Look at the skyline. It's not just skyscrapers anymore, it's data centers. Those giant brains that run the AI everyone is terrified of, they are absolute vacuum cleaners for structural steel and copper. Ziekelman isn't just making pipe, they're building the skeletons for the digital gods.
Skeletons for the digital gods. You're getting poetic. But it leads into the Randstad data you sent over. Everyone's worried AI is going to take their jobs, but it turns out the AI actually needs a plumber, or at least an HVAC tech.
Exactly. People think AI is this ethereal thing living in a cloud. It's not. It's a hot, heavy, power-hungry beast sitting in a concrete box. If the cooling system in a data center fails, that AI brain turns into a very expensive puddle of melted silicon in about 10 minutes. That's where our people come in. Randstad is showing a massive spike in demand for trades because you can't prompt a leaky refrigerant line into fixing itself.
You're telling me that to work in tech now, you might need a pipe wrench instead of a CS degree?
I'm saying if you're an HVAC tech and you want to write your own paycheck, stop looking at residential window units and start looking at liquid cooling systems for server farms. It's the same physics, just at a scale that would make your head spin. It's a beautiful irony. The more virtual the world gets, the more it leans on the person who knows how to sweat a joint.
It's a good pivot for anyone feeling AI anxiety. But speaking of pivoting, let's talk about the maker mogul side of things. You're always telling me that making the thing is only half the battle.
It's the easier half, honestly. You can be the greatest blacksmith since the Iron Age, but if you're hiding in your cave, you're just a guy with a hot hobby. The Brand Genius Awards this year really hit on something. People like Dakota Ray Lowe are showing that your content is really just an open window into your shop.
I saw Dakota's stuff. It's not a polished commercial. It's gritty. It's real. But Tiger, isn't it exhausting to spend 8 hours building a cabinet and then another 4 hours editing a video about the cabinet?
It's a total pain in the neck. It's like trying to carve a dovetail while holding a mirror in one hand. But here's the secret. Don't perform. Just document. People aren't looking for a Super Bowl ad. They're looking for the truth of the process. If you're a welder, show the bead that went wrong before you show the one that's perfect. It shows you know the difference. That builds a brand faster than any logo ever could.
So, transparency over polish. That's a tough pill for some of the old school guys to swallow, isn't it?
It's like learning to use a new tool. You're going to be clumsy at first. You're going to drop the metaphorical chisel on your toe. But 2026 is the year of the specialized agency. If you've got a real business scaling up, there are now ad teams who only work with physical goods makers. They speak sawdust and solder. Use them.
Speaking of specialized skills, I saw the finale of that Epiphone Les Paul Rennek project. That looked like heart surgery, Tiger. I actually held my breath when you started carving that heel.
My heart was in my throat too. There's something about taking a saw to a guitar neck that feels like a betrayal, but that's the DIY mastery path. It's about moving past handy into artisan. Seeing that project come together, It's not just about the guitar. It's about the fact that you can take something broken, something most people would toss in the dumpster, and with enough patience and a scary sharp rasp, you can make it sing again.
It's inspiring. But I have to call you out. You also mentioned a drywall montage video. Now, I love you, Tiger, but drywall is the absolute worst. It's dusty, it's tedious, and it never looks flat until the third gallon of mud. Can a montage really make it suck less?
Look, Carlos over at Elemento Drywall is a wizard. He's not showing you how to do drywall. He's showing you the choreography. Drywall is a rhythm game. If you get the sequence of the corners right, and you don't overwork the mud like you're icing a birthday cake, you can actually get a level 5 finish without losing your mind.
I'll believe it when I don't see the seams under a floor lamp.
It's about the tools too. Did you see those new laser-guided marking gauges the Maker channel featured? I used to use a pencil and a prayer. Now we've got lasers showing us exactly where the blade is going to land. It's a great time to be a gadget nerd in a woodshop.
It sounds like the handmade revolution you always talk about is just getting smarter.
It has to, Alex. If we don't evolve, we're just reenactors at a museum. We've got to use the lasers to build the houses that hold the data centers that run the AI. It's all one big, greasy, high-tech loop.
A greasy, high-tech loop. I think that's on the TigerDen t-shirt for next month.
Maybe. But look, if there's one thing to take away from today, it's this. The world is getting faster and more digital, but it's still built on physical things. Whether you're learning to cool a server rack or just trying to get your drywall corners to look like they weren't done by a caffeinated squirrel, your skills have value. Don't let the Silicon Valley noise make you think your hands don't matter. They matter more than ever.
Well said. I think I might go try that Agile thing on my herb garden this weekend.
Just don't ask me to weld the planters. My Agile quota is full of boomeranging oak for the week.
Fair enough. For everyone listening, if you want to dive deeper into these paths, whether it's the trade career, the maker mogul business side, or just mastering your DIY skills, check out the links in the show notes.
Stay gritty, stay creative. I'll see you back here in the den tomorrow.